This podcast is part of the Frederick Podcast Network. Learn more at listenfrederick.com.
This episode is brought to you in part by our network sponsors.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to announce that smooth sack summer is officially upon us. When you're playing in the summer sun, make sure you're groomed from pubes to bum. Thanks to our friends at Manscaped, you can make this season your smoothest yet. The Performance Package 5.0 Ultra is the ultimate bundle to keep your boys downstairs cool while looking hot. Join the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with our exclusive offer. Get 20% off and free shipping when you go to manscaped.com and use the code THPN. Summertime and the trimmin' is easy. The Manscaped Performance Package 5.0 has everything you need to prepare the summer bod. The star of the show, obviously, is the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts in their Performance Package 5.0. The Manscaped Boxers, because we know some of you guys don't even change your boxers out daily, so you need some of those. And obviously for all you unorganized folks out there, the Shed Travel Bag.
Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code THPN at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code THPN at manscaped.com. It's smooth sack summer, boys. Get on board or get left behind. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Beers in the Lot. Before we get going, let me just remind you about our shop at beersinthelot.com/shop. That's where you can get t-shirts and other merchandise with Beers in the Lot logos on it. Also, check out beersinthelot.com for anything else you might be curious about this podcast. And be sure to join the Discord at beersinthelot.com/discord. So, for episode 203, we spent almost the entire episode talking about the moves and trades and changes that have happened this offseason and what their impacts might be. So let's get to it and crack the beers.
Oh my.
Oh. What are you drinking this evening, Aaron? I see you're pouring something.
Yes, I have Bullet Rye again. I'm repeating because I forgot to buy beer again.
I'm clutching my pearls, dude.
I mean, it's not like you have anything to do right now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's not like I've got anything else going on in my life. But what you got tonight, John?
I have a DC Brow, the Corruption IPA.
Oh.
No comment. I'm just
No comment.
It is
Careful.
not. It is not
Yeah,
a statement
no
or
politics.
anything.
You're too close,
I'm
man.
not-
You're too close,
I'm
man.
not. Hey, man. I don't need to air out my public handicap. It's totally fine. We're doing all right.
The
Yeah,
corruption.
careful.
But meanwhile, I'm going to pour a little bit more rye.
All right,
Anyway.
Let's pivot. Let's go down the fairway, if you will. Riggs, what are you drinking this evening, sir?
From Attaboy Beer in downtown Frederick, Maryland, I have the Whistler West Coast IPA. This year's batch of the Whistler. It is phenomenal. This year's batch. Very good. If you like Westies. Danny, what do you have?
From Treehouse Brewing, I have a Crispy Boy Lager Czech style. Easy does it. Very good.
Very good.
So I think we decided no movie tonight, huh?
Well, in light of all the happenings, and we were talking about this before we started recording, it feels like we do, to me at least, it has felt like we've done movie night later on in the summer when we're like bored as hell and there's no hockey whatsoever. But it turns out we've always done it around this time and we've been bored as hell because there's basically no hockey whatsoever. It's just things went really late this year. So that's part of the reason why we would normally do. And I mean, as we all know, the first movie night was Jaws, and the 4th of July weekend is one of the biggest weekends of the year for Amity.
These beaches will be open.
That's right.
Exactly. It's going to be one of our best years yet, per Mayor Vaughn. But there's been too much going on. Like I mean, free agency started today, and there's been trades like crazy, big names moving around and not getting contracts, people getting bought out. Like, what, John? You've had your finger on the pulse of all of this. So, what do you think is the biggest thing that has happened? What is the biggest news? Like, of all the big things that have happened, what's the big thing that is striking you the most?
All right. So before I get into it, there are two things that like comments people made, and it kind of like, I don't want to say it like made me go like you're insane, but like Butchergross came out like a day or two ago, right when the buyout period opened up for NHL players, and he said this is un-American, it's insane. I'm like, well, number one, the NFL, they can cut players like right before like opening day, and they don't have to pay them shit. So at least the buyout, like you get some of your money. So the fact he says that, that's insanity to me. And also, like, if you're never performing at the job to the level the team wanted you at, they can fire your ass. So at least like these guys are getting paid. So whatever, Butchergross. The Stamkos thing, like I'm irked for like several reasons, because Nashville also like they must have found money somehow, because like Barry Trotz is either like the kid in the candy shop and has no clue what anything costs. Like there's no price checker in the aisle he's in or something, or I don't know, because I don't recall Nashville ever spending money at free agency. Maybe a few, but not what they've done. Right? Am I the only one that thinks
I
this?
mean, yeah, they came out
but
guns a
but maybe
blazing.
that's but this is like his first go round, right? So maybe this is like him finally starting to put his stamp on,
Correct.
you know, what's going to happen over the next 5 years or so with that club, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And Anaheim Ducks, like whenever you guys want to get into the game, I don't know if they're on a long weekend or anything, but they haven't done shit. And Anaheim may need to do something at some point. So they had like one re-signing, I think, like, you know, a day or two ago, but no free agents. And also the Caps, like no one told them they have a bunch of dudes over 30, I guess. No one mentioned that to them. We don't need to
I
get into
guess.
players. I mean, what do you think Riggs is a Washington Capital fan?
I don't understand what's going on. Well, so
Dude, I have no idea.
they're
Yeah, exactly.
they're gonna have like $12 million available when they finally officially say, okay, Backstrom's on LTIR for next year, and Oshie's either on LTIR or he's retiring, right? Because neither of them are going to play. So
Because they're like 14 mil over right now, aren't they?
yeah,
Well,
but
and you
they
can
did some
be
other
X
they did some
amount.
other moves, right? And
Mhm.
so it'll all work out if and when those two players aren't playing.
Mm.
and they're not, like, that's what all of it signals to me is that Oshie's done. Backstrom was done, which we already knew.
Yeah.
So, okay, right. Now, the moves themselves, I'm not sure about, because you know, McMichael was poised to kind of move up and get more significant time next season. Now they've kind of loaded up at center, and it moves him around. It moves him down in the center depth chart, or it moves him to wing, right? To start the year, which I don't know if that's right. If you're truly trying to get younger and get the guys in and start building back up again, like I think a guy like Connor McMichael needs to be playing from opening night. Like, that's just me. I like the moves at D because they really need help there, especially the Matt Roy deal.
I like him.
That guy is entering the prime years as a defenseman, and they got him on a very good deal. A lot of people are like poo-pooing it on the socials, but I don't think they understand that historically he's in the prime years for a defenseman, and he's a very good player. So I like that, as you know, Carlson is aging out and some other guys are not performing well. I like that. But I just don't like the flurry of activity around that team. I don't understand. I don't get it. I guess maybe like they're reaping the rewards of buying cap friendly or something, but
Wasn't that
I
what you
did
guys
see-
said in general on Discord? Is that now the Caps can like see what's going on with salary caps, and
Which
now
is
they're making
comical.
moves.
Yeah, it was comical.
They couldn't use a public website before.
I
So they had
was-
to buy it.
right, I know. And oh, by the way, it's still public right now. It doesn't go dark
right,
until
yeah.
after this whole thing is done here, right?
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, if
and even
you
then
are,
you can go to
Yeah.
puckpedia.com or any other number of sites. Like,
I will say
right.
Puckpedia is kind of cool because you can track agents, which is always interesting. You
Yeah.
can see how rich those guys are getting now that it's
It's
free
interesting
agency
for guys
day.
like you.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't give a shit about agents.
Just I'll buy it. Well, actually, like
no,
from a-
before we leave Washington, though, I do want to just echo something I said in the Discord general this week, though. Like, the Caps are going to fuck around and end up in the playoffs again.
yeah, they probably will.
Because they upgraded at a lot of positions. I don't agree with the strategy. I don't agree with pushing some of your younger players down in the depth chart when they were poised to get some significant NHL time this year. Like, I don't agree with any of that. I think it's a young person's game, and if you're able to get younger and better at the same time, like, that's what you should be doing. But they're gonna end up in the playoffs again, and that's stupid.
Well, they're also going into a season. I actually don't mind from a team where they're kind of like in the, at the opposite end of the good side of the bell curve.
Right?
They're going into a season with 2 goaltenders on the last year of their deals with Logan Thompson, who I actually like, and
He's very good.
Charlie Lindgren. So like, you potentially, I mean, you're getting Thompson at a steal because what is he, like, league min at like 750 or something like that, maybe a hair over. So like, if he gets paid after this, like, he'll have upside. I think, like, I mean, the East is pretty open for the most part. Like,
Sure.
Florida, I actually think Florida got a little worse because like Montour left,
Yep.
OEL left.
No,
We'll see.
So the OEL got overpaid.
100%.
The Montour deal is ridiculous.
It is.
Good
Good players though.
And significant for them because everybody's got to
Yeah.
pull the rope, right, in a cup
Yeah.
run. Okay, I get
Yep.
it. But individually, going to new teams, I don't get it. I don't.
Yeah. We'll see what happens regarding that. It's like tough because you can never, like, everyone's like, oh, Nashville, oh my God. But then, like, kind of look at history. What does it tell you? Like, what does Nashville tell you? And also, they have like Andrew Brunette as their coach. Like, for God's sakes, guys. Like, let's
Right.
think here.
Right.
Can we think? Like, like, please.
Let's take a moment and think.
Yeah, like, step back and look. Like, please. I just don't like it. If we're gonna talk about the Pens, I think they have like 3.5 or 4 mil going into next season. That's good flexibility, and they still have like a boatload of dudes after next season are eligible for UFA. So they have some flexibility. I'm fine with that. They upgraded a little bit because they got rid of Riley Smith. Give them a little more flexibility. So
I like the Bavilier signing.
I think,
No,
well,
you
he
don't.
has some
No, you
he-
don't.
He's
in
a
the
good
right
player.
situation.
No,
He'll
he's
be
not.
all right.
Mm.
He's terrible.
Hayes too. Like they'll be okay.
Bavilier is very good at creating individual scoring chances, but he can't finish.
Yeah.
He doesn't make anyone else around him better.
No.
He creates all these individual scoring chances for himself,
Oh,
and
who
he
was-
can't
Who was the
finish.
Penguin? Who was the Penguin for like a billion years? You guys know who I'm talking about? Who was I talking about? Everyone said, "Oh, Dominic Simone. Everyone was like, he's great. And I was like, Dominic Simone's highlight
Terrible.
package
Oh, no.
is going to be him missing open nets and planting pucks in goalies' chest.
That's
That's
right.
going to be his highlight reel. Like, the way I look at it, like, other end of the bell curve, like the Pens, they're operating with a little more flexibility.
I'm looking at Beauvillier, and he was his current contract. He signed with the Isles in 2021,
Yeah, dude.
4.1 mil, and then 3 years later, he got moved to the Canucks. Sorry, 2 years later, he got moved to the Canucks, who kept him on for 33 games of the 22-23 season. And
Yeah,
then
neat league, huh?
moved him after 22 games of this past season, moved him to the Blackhawks because it was 22 games and he only had 8 points. And then the Blackhawks played him 23 games and he scored 6 points. And they moved him to the Predators for 15 games and he only scored 3 points. He got progressively worse as he moved teams, and he moved twice. He was on 3 teams this last season. What the fuck? The Blackhawks moved him quick.
Can I change my
23
answer?
games.
He's not good.
Can I
Yeah.
change my answer?
Yeah,
He's not good.
He's
You
not
can
good.
change your answer. You can change it if you wish.
Also, maybe he just needs to find the right group. Maybe he's just not in the right line, right group of guys. I don't know. Who knows?
Maybe he's in the wrong league.
I
Maybe
was
that's
just
it.
about to say that.
Maybe he's in the wrong league,
I was
dude.
just about to say
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I was thinking about that.
Time out for just a second while we hear about our sponsors. We'll be right back. Bet the action on the ice with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use code THPN. New customers can get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on hockey. That's code THPN only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. The crown is yours. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/hockey for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gambling resources. NHL and the NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2023, all rights reserved. Pure Hockey has the best hockey equipment, accessories, and apparel on the market to take your game to the next level. Maybe it's time to ditch that old stick and start the year with a fresh twig. Maybe it's time to refresh your NHL wardrobe for the race to the playoffs. Pure Hockey has it all. Whether it's training aids, the latest sticks and skates, or your favorite team's gear, get your hockey shopping done at Pure Hockey and use our affiliate link at beersintheLot.com/Pure Hockey.
I guess the other thing too, like I'm thinking more and more about Tampa. Like they upgraded because Sergachev's good, but they traded him to get a little more flexibility up front, knowing that they have an okay D-core. They have Vasilevsky, who's still a pretty damn good goalie.
Yeah.
And they need to score some points. So now you got, a top, let's call it 3 forwards. You got Jake the Snake, Braden Point, and Cooch.
That's a good line.
Yeah, that's a pretty damn good line. Very, very solid. I mean, shit, Nashville probably wants that too, is their top line, but they can't. They got Stammer, so. Well, I was hanging on to something that wasn't there. Like, dude, come on. That sounds like such a high school girlfriend-boyfriend thing. Like, dude has a ton of miles on him.
Dude.
And he was the captain, yes.
But he also, he came into the league with them. He's been there since he was a kid, essentially.
Yeah.
Right? He's been there since he's 18, 19. Like, you can't, I don't know, dude. Like, there's a lot there.
There is.
There's a
He's
lot
had a
there.
lot of miles.
And his whole life, like his whole adult life has been there. Like, getting married and having kids and like all that shit too, right? Like, that's all been there. And now, hey, we're going to move to Nashville. Like, that's a big deal. So when people are asking him about it, you can't You can't like or dislike the answers. Those are the answers. Sorry. Like, I'm always pro player on that shit.
I'm very pro player, but as a 34-year-old who's had a lot of miles and he's gonna have $8 million on the books till he's 38, I don't know how that contract's gonna age.
That's Barry Trotz's problem.
Exactly.
That's
in
his
Tampa,
problem.
everyone was poo-pooing it because they were like, well, they offered him like 3.5 or 4. I'm like, well, that's also the team's right.
Yes.
Like, some of these fans don't understand. Gretzky played other places. Yager played other places. Forsberg played other places. McGillney played other places.
Yeah.
McGillney's also held out of the Hall because I think there's a secret backdoor agreement between the Russian Hockey Federation and the Hall of Fame.
No. That's
Laney's
your boy,
not
Laney.
involved.
That's your boy,
Hey,
Laney
man.
McDonald, dude.
No, I will
That's
go
your
looking
boy.
for the emails. I guarantee it's not that.
That's your
Don't.
boy.
No,
That's
I
your
will look
boy.
for the emails. No, I think that's Laney's a chairman. The committee selects that.
What?
I think the committee
The
is
chairman is
crooked.
in charge.
The chairman's
of the
not in
committee.
control of his committee.
Right. What are you talking about?
You
Who's
guys
running
don't know
that
how it works.
committee?
It's okay.
Yeah. Then who's running
it's
it?
The chairman.
So
It's
he's
the chairman, dude.
So he's either an ineffective chairman or he's keeping McGillney out of the Hall.
I don't
Which
think
is it?
he's keeping McGillney out. I don't think he is. I think it's a deep
he
state.
is.
I think it's
I
a
think
deep
it's him.
state. I think it's
Jesus.
the deep state. That's all I'm gonna say. You're gonna
No
be really
politics.
fired up. You're gonna be so fired up on this. No, I genuinely 100% agree after this round to go for the Hall. I think there is a secret agreement between the Russian Hockey Federation and the Hall that because McGillney was the first one to defect and he had a very awesome NHL career, they were like, hey, keep this
Dude,
guy
he did
out.
everything. He did
He
everything.
did everything he needed to do.
Gold medals, Stanley Cup, World Juniors, scoring titles, MVP,
World Championship too, I think.
He did
he has
everything. He did
He has,
everything.
every piece of hardware you need. He
All
has.
the check boxes.
Exactly.
Right.
No tax evasion like Aaron's boy Esatikinen. Like none of that shit.
or Jaromir Jagr.
Or Yager.
Well,
Poker dispute. There was no tax evasion or anything.
No, it was from his salon. It was his salon, wasn't it? Didn't he like his salon never paid taxes?
Well, I mean,
Oh,
I don't know about that.
I could see Yager needing to save money at the hair place, though. You know,
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. He does have beautiful flow, so yeah.
Yeah.
it probably costs a lot to manage that.
Yeah,
I
back in
get
the
it.
day.
It wants to skim a little, but
Back in the day.
anyway.
Also, I did love, like, I guess Jeff Jackson is now head of the ship for the Oilers. And they were, they had this heartfelt little thing like about Ken Holland. And I'm kind of thinking, I'm like, well, considering you guys just had to buy out Jack Campbell and now you went to game 7 of the Cup, I have zero clue if you guys are getting back next year because you also signed
they're
Jeff
going back.
Skinner.
No, they're going back. They re-signed Corey Perry, so they're going to go back
And lose again.
and lose again.
Sick. Sick. Yeah. Well, also they signed Jeff Skinner. So if I were Jeff Skinner, I'd be very happy because this may be his first chance to actually make the playoffs. The guy's played over 1,000 NHL games. Yeah, he was bought out in Buffalo.
Yeah.
I knew he was bought out. I didn't know he got signed by somebody.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Pretty
that
sick,
is a
huh?
move.
That is
Yeah.
a move.
That's something, all right.
That's
Some of these
something.
teams, though, I'm kind of shocked. Like they're buying, and like I think Jeff Skinner had like 1 year left on his deal, so instead of just eating it, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna
Or there wasn't
subtract a little."
there wasn't a deal there. Like they couldn't move the last year of that.
That's where I'm
contract,
always like confused. Like even if you eat 50% just to move him for 1 year, and then you're done, you don't have to do anything. Or like I did kind of like what Chris Drury did in New York. I know some people poo-pooed it. Apparently, like Barclay Goodrow had the Sharks on his no trade list, even though they kind of agreed on a trade with him and Mike Greer. Agreed on a trade. Barclay Goodrow kind of quashed it. So Drury, being a crafty gentleman, sent him down on waivers, and Mike Greer just claimed him on waivers, which was slick, and just circumvented the whole thing. Which they're actually like kind of mentioning the whole Trouba thing. They may do it with Trouba. That's the
No.
that I heard they may use that exact same tactic. I think
No
that's
way.
sick.
I mean, that would be
Trouba
awesome.
won't make it.
but
Somebody's gonna elbow him when he gets sent down anyway, so it'll be fine. Who knows?
on the way down, he's just
On the way
elbowing-
down. Yeah, they just
elbowing
elbow.
people. It's just like-
Yeah,
They're just throwing bows.
yeah. I just
comes off the top rope, like Ric
Any
Flair
wrestler?
or somebody. Like
yeah, like Ric Flair. Gosh, the people's elbow.
yeah,
Like the Rock. Yeah.
gives him the people's elbow on the way down.
Danny, what do you think about the Pens? Anything special that stood out to you?
Well, apparently not.
No?
Nah, I think they're still in the same boat. I mean,
Pretty
they-
much,
I
yeah.
don't think they really got any worse. I don't think they got any better though. I don't think they're. I mean,
Yeah.
they were one game out of the playoffs this year. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of a coin flip at this point whether they get in or not. But I don't see it. I mean, there's no real heart left. I think. I mean,
Yeah.
who's playing on Crosby's line now? Who's
Apparently,
the
it's going to
top
be
guys?
Doc and Rust. They're saying Doc and Rust.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, I know Malkin and Bunting had a little something going on at the end of the season, but
they did
I don't know.
okay.
They need to do something. I think they need to get rid of Letang. Just start ripping the band-aids off. I love them, but just start doing it.
I was told earlier today by field reporter Ross, I have no heart, and I said to be a general manager, you can't have a heart. It's logic.
Can I? I'm gonna say this. Every year, everyone wants to move Letang.
Yeah.
For the last
Mm-hmm.
what year is this? 2024. It's been like the last 8 years,
Yeah,
I think.
8 years.
literally
I
half
think.
of
He
his
was-
career.
I think
Half of Letang's
Half
career.
His career. Dude, when was his first contract?
think
20,
it's like-
2006.
We
It's been
gotta-
since
yeah.
2007.
We
guys.
gotta
Come on, let's
move.
be
I
real.
know.
we got
I
to
know.
move Letang. We got to move the quarterback on the power play. We got to move.
Well, it's
gotta
because
move-
you have to move one of the you have to
We-
start getting rid of the core, and he's the person to get rid of first.
Well, they already did. They got rid of Fleury. Fleury was part of the core, and they got rid of him. So the Band-Aids have already started coming
Hold
off.
on, time
But
out.
yes,
time
oh
out
my
really quick.
God.
Letang's the
Hold on,
next one.
time out.
Again,
Here's
6 years
my
ago.
argument. Here's my argument on that whole bullshit. Because every time I'm one
And
of the
no
people I'm
playoff
like,
success since 6 years ago. Just saying.
I'm one of the people that's always like, hey, you need to be ahead of the shit when stuff starts to go bad. It's almost better to trade right before they start to, bring that roller coaster over the other side of the top. When they got rid of Fleury, they were like, oh, thank God, he's good for nothing. He sucks. Dudes went on to have a Vesna since then. Everyone was
Vesna,
like,
win a
Matt
cup.
Murray fucking blows. He sucks. We got it. Now we're dealing with the Tristan Jark a million times more with Matt Murray. Like over what Tristan Jarry has been. And the Leafs re-signed him today, by the way, for like $800K. So they're going to go into the season with Stolars,
Unbelievable.
What?
Murray, and Joseph
Unbelievable.
Wall.
God,
Unbelievable.
And also for the Leafs, which is comical, subtract Matt Murray. So they're starting to are Joseph Wall and Stolars. I think the most games collectively the two of them have played in a season is like 62. So you're still 20 games short total of your whole
Unbelievable.
season.
That's
Maybe
wild.
Mitch will play goal, dude. Maybe. We'll see.
That is insane to me.
Yeah, it
Like,
could be way
it's
worse.
not like there's not enough goalies in the league. Like
Well,
there's goalies everywhere.
Yeah, there's.
You mean goalies as in they wear the sick pads and stuff? Yeah. There's goalies, yeah, dude. But like I hope Jack Campbell just has like a Vesna quality season this year in Detroit. Nothing will make me happier.
with whom?
Patty Kane and Mo Sider.
Oh shit!
Oh,
With the wangs.
Yeah, he's with the Wangs.
oh.
Oh, wow, we will.
Mm.
I can tell you one team I really think is like already not going to make the playoffs. The Islanders. I hope that turns into a total dumpster fire with
I
Lou
do
and
too,
Patrick
just because
Waugh.
I don't like
I don't
Lou.
like that team either. Yeah.
I don't like Lou.
I'm sick of him.
Yeah, I can't stand him.
That
Yeah,
geese.
I was the couple times like I was watching baseball and golf, and I flipped over to the draft every once in a while, and every couple times, for some reason, in the background of the shot is the Islanders draft table, and friggin' Uncle Lou's sitting over there, and I'm like, God, that guy is still in the league.
Just being
Like
creepy.
he's still
Yeah,
making
just being creepy.
decisions for an NHL franchise. Like this
running
is
around giving people $2 bills on their birthday and shit.
This is
right?
This is terrible. This is terrible. Like, what are they? And that's a franchise with a lot of history and a lot of they were a dynasty in the 80s. Like, what are they doing?
What, though, that team has like one player that I like. I like Barzal, but
Yep.
all the rest, I hate everybody on that team.
Hey, Pavillier was on that
strong
team.
word. Yeah,
That's why
Danny's
I was like,
boy.
oh, he's sick.
Danny's
No,
boy
he's
was on
not.
that team, dude.
He bad.
Yeah.
He's like a big Anthony Beauvillier
He
fan.
he
He's
tore the
bad.
Pens up the one season, and I'm like, oh shit, all right,
Well, Pittsburgh was probably bad.
wrong intel. Well, of course.
Yeah, you probably like Trevor
Clearly.
Gillies too, dude. You like Trevor Gillies too.
Oh,
That's
he's sick.
that.
For real though,
Freaking
there's
sack.
so many guys on that team that I just hate seeing. Like, I don't want to see.
I don't
want to see Cal Clutterbuck. Oh,
Well,
I
I
don't
don't
like
like
him
him.
this year.
I don't like him. I don't like him.
Brock Nelson, Matt Martin.
Ugh.
Matt Martin. He's probably.
I
not
don't
even
like
gonna
him.
come back
Oh,
from
yeah.
work.
I don't like him.
Yeah. Casey Cizikas, don't like him.
Nope. Don't like
Fuck
him
him.
either. Nope. Nope.
I'm telling you, man. There's
I
no
just
other
can't
team
believe-
I like.
I guess what is comical to me in a day in the NHL where like we preach speed and skill and like players like Mac and Cooch and McDavid and Draisaitl, the list goes on. I mean, countless names. And you got the Islanders fan base still bragging about their fourth line. Get
We have the best
hell
fourth
outta
line.
here.
We have the best fourth line in hockey. Oh my
Out of
gosh.
here.
Get
No,
outta here.
actually you don't, because
Yeah,
if
I
you
don't want to
did,
hear about this shit.
you might have advanced in the playoffs or whatever. Like, no, get out of here. No,
Yeah,
get out of here.
gosh, you guys are probably dumping and chasing and blocking shots in beer league. Get out of here.
I say this all the time. I say this all the time, and I've said it in general Discord too. beersandlot.com/Discord.
Thank you.
Great plug.
The irrational infatuation with bottom 6 NHL players will never cease to boggle my mind.
Dude, that's big of you
It's true.
considering Jay Beagle's your dog.
He served a very specific purpose in
That's very big of you.
on a very specific team. But you know what? They let him go. They had to let him go because you know what? That's it. Like you served out your usefulness on this roster at that specific time. That's how it works. You can't keep giving these guys 2 and 3 year deals at $2 to $5 million or whatever it is that all these teams do. Like, that is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Stop it.
Yeah. I mean, I tend to agree with you. I
The Islanders, it's like the thank you for leaving meme with the hot dog suit. Like, why do we keep finishing dead last in these goals scored
Right.
column? It's like, and
Right.
Lou's wearing the hot dog suit.
Right.
Like, I'm like, well,
We're
Lou,
all
like-
trying to find the guy that's responsible for this.
I know, Lou. That's you. Like, it's just,
God.
Like, no, but I don't understand it. I don't understand. Toronto because Ryan Reeves is leaving, right? So a lot of Toronto people are like, who's gonna stand up for the guys, right? And it's like, you don't need him. He didn't even
No.
play. He didn't even play. Like in the critical games and then in playoffs, he didn't even play. Like, get out of here.
Guys like that don't play in critical games.
No.
Like, you don't need those guys when you need to win.
And then you look at Florida, oh, by the way, or look at any of the last however many Stanley Cup champions, right? And their fourth line contributes, but most importantly, they don't get eaten up when they're out there. They don't give up a lot of scoring chances. They don't give up a lot of goals against when they're out there, right? So again, everybody pulls on the same rope. It takes the whole organization from the owner of the club down to whoever, first line to fourth line. But those are windows of time, right? Last year, it didn't work for them. They got there, but they couldn't win, right? Because they just didn't have it. Vegas was better at that time. It's a window of time, right? Next year, Florida, I mean, again, you know, they lost other bad players. Okay. But we already talked about that. But they're not going to be there, right? It's going to be somebody else. And that group, their four lines in that window of time they're going to be the best. They're going to have the best fourth line. They're going to have the best third line, whatever, all the way up at that window of time for those 2 months or whatever, it's 2.5 months.
Do you think the more and more like that time goes by, I just constantly think of like a few, and I don't want to say role players in a bad way, but like I think of Max Talbot in Game 7, Devontae Smith-Pelly for the Caps, you know, just having these big postseasons or big games and deciding games. And then people like get so fixated on that singular game and just magnify it like for an 82 game season or everything. And it's like that was a moment in time and maybe like they had the right amount of adrenaline, the right kind of like, you know, jump in their step and made it that point the right decision. And that's all it is. It's a moment in time.
That's
and
what
people
happens.
get so, oh my God. It's like,
that's how all
that's
these
exactly
guys
what it is.
That's how all these guys get overpaid like this. Because they have a couple fleeting moments of, you know, greatness or whatever you want to call it, and everybody fixates on that. Like, remember when DSP scored the goal? Yeah, I remember the goal.
Yeah, and then the next,
I 100% remember the goal.
Wasn't that the next training camp? He came in like 25 pounds overweight,
right?
Like they dinged him immediately.
But even before that,
he started hammering slices.
Even before that, he wasn't Even before that, he wasn't an every game player. Like that season, he wasn't an every game player. Coming into the season, there were questions, right? So, yeah, I get it. He scored a very important goal to tie up that game, right? I get it. But you can't, and they didn't, luckily. You can't throw money at them. Like, you can't then, you know, and like you look at Montour in Florida and OEL, right? You know, there was some Florida Panther fans, people on Elon's magical land over there they had the pictures of Montour like,
oh, of course,
quadruple fisting beers after they won the cup with no shirt on, right? And they're like, this guy yesterday was doing this and today he's on another team. And I'm like, yeah, that's like you can't pay him. You can't pay him. Like,
or you could be like Logan Thompson. You're at an autograph signing. You find out you're traded, you know?
Like, you can't even write your number. You can't even write your number on there anymore because you don't know what number you are.
It did come out. It did come out though after the fact that he requested a trade.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, Aiden Hill's in front of me. I would like a chance to be a starter. I think like that's great.
I don't know.
He's a good opportunity in Washington.
It's great because now Washington has two lefty goalies, right? They're like, you know.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, you got some southpaws.
Yeah, they're two right catch. It's weird.
That just means the power play goals are going to be scored from the other side. That's all it means. There's nothing special. It'll be fine.
All right, that's it for this one. Thank you for your listen and for your support. We appreciate all of your likes and ratings and reviews and subscriptions on the various podcatchers. Keep them coming. We appreciate every single one of them. I know I speak for the rest of the guys when I say have a good one, and we'll catch you next week when our new episode drops on Wednesday. See ya.